I never wanted to be a teacher. When I first quit the corporate world, I started volunteering at an Akanksha after-school center, working with slum kids. I began to question if it was possible. Could a kid from the slums speak impeccable English? Could they think critically? Could they change their lives? I had no answers, and no one around me seemed to have any. I decided to give it all I had so that one day I would honestly be able to say if it was possible or not. When I first became a teacher, I wasn't prepared. I met children with lives that were so different from my own. Like all children, they too laughed, cried, ate, and played. But unlike other children, their reality was of living on the roads, of alcoholic fathers who beat their wives, no electricity, drugs, and often no food. What do you tell a child whose home has just been demolished, leaving them homeless? What do you say to a child whose father has been run over by a car while he slept on the road? What was I supposed to do, and where was I supposed to start? I chose to push them to learn. In spite of being unsure myself, I made them believe that education was their way out. I chose to focus on English because I believed I wanted to give them something that I would give a child of my own. Through newspapers, we learned about the Israel-Palestine issue, the Kashmir and Maoist problem, and the subprime problem in the US. We learned phonics, phrases, new words, did comprehensions, read books, articles. I was fanatic in my approach. I pushed them hard, and I began to see results. I feel sad when my mother gave love to my younger brother and not to me, because I am black. Sanjay. Didi, in my heart I speak like you, but I don't know what happens when I say it. Nazir. I am exasperated with writing all these sentences. Shakila. Being a teacher was one of the hardest things I did, and I honestly believe it is one of the most difficult jobs in the world. In order to continue doing this work, I had to learn two things. I had to learn not to feel guilty or conflicted between my world and theirs, and I had to learn to continue fighting the fight even when I lost. There were many instances when, in spite of all my efforts, my kids quit their education. I had to persist despite the disappointment. There were many times I felt it was impossible. I wanted to quit. The challenges were too great. And then I would think of the price of failure and I would push all of us more. There was no time to make allowances for them. We increased center time to 5 hours. If my kids didn't read the papers or do their homework, it would mean paying a fine of 5 rupees and staying back after center to write an essay. I worked zealously in correcting plans, creating more work for them to do, downloading fun things to do. We also learned outside of class. We went on field trips and did projects. We had fun days at my home where we watched films like Life is Beautiful, Chicago, and munched on popcorn. At the end of every year, we put on a performance, and kids knew that unless it was excellent, we would not invite others to see the show. Kids learned what it was like to work extremely hard at something, have high expectations, and to excel. Change did happen, but it was slow. Initially, if they remembered a word or they pronounced hotel correctly, it gave me joy. And then they wrote poetry. I am from the hot smell of idlis and dosa to the spicy chutney and sambar. I am from the tears that ran down my eyes when my father passed away to my ma's sad face. I'm from the green note that came out of my pa's pocket to the 1 rupee from my mother's purse. I'm from June 5th of my birth to June 15th of my pa's death. Jyoti Reddy. My kids began to dream. I have a dream. One day I will go to college. Dinesh. I dream of becoming a choreographer. Shehnaz. When Jyoti Mishra first came to my class, she lacked confidence. She stammered and constantly fidgeted while talking. With time, praise, and constant pushing, Jyoti soon began to open up. Everyone noticed. She had an aptitude for math, and in her school-leaving exam, she got 145 out of 150. Today, she goes to my college. She studies science at St. Xavier's, one of the top 5 institutes in India. She dreams of becoming an astronaut. Over the years, my kids amaze me in innumerable ways. 2 stand out for me. One, that their happiness did not lie in material things. I was always astounded that they were genuinely happy living in conditions most would find unbearable. They didn't consider themselves poor. and the second, that their spirit remained undefeated. In the years that I taught them, 3 of my children watched their mothers burn themselves to death. 6 had a parent die of alcohol and other illnesses. And I lost a child of mine, Pankaj, who got crushed by a train while he chased a kite in the dockyard. Here's what's incredible. All of my children continued to fight. And as a tribute to Pankaj, our class cleaned up a garbage dump and converted it into this cricket ground. Pankaj loved cricket. Over time, my kids grew up. We began to bond. I told them of my life. They know of my deepest worries and issues. We became a team, each other's support system. I want to end with a story of one of my girls called Draupadi. Draupadi was bright, articulate, and had an aptitude for English. Draupadi had dreams to become something. She was married off at 14 by her parents. He was 20 and uneducated. When I visited her in her new home, a slum in Pune, she looked like she was playing dress-up in her mother's clothes. She had lost the will to fight. She didn't want to leave, live in a hostel, and face what life would throw her way. I didn't push hard enough. I thought maybe it would work out. Maybe she would be happy. I was wrong. A few years later, she had 3 miscarriages. Today, Draupadi is the mother of 3 and has returned home to be with her parents. Whenever I think of Draupadi and the millions of Draupadis out there, I am angry at the wasted potential, the lost chances, and the defeated dreams. I feel driven to work harder, do more, so that one day no more Draupadis will be sacrificed, no more Draupadis will be forced to give up on their dreams. Today, when I think of my journey as a teacher, I know I could have done more. I know I did not do enough. I never wanted to be a teacher, but I am glad I was one.